The Story Eater's End. Leo was a boy who lived more in books than in the real world. His nights were filled with dreams of nights, and his days were spent doodling dragons in the margins of his notebooks. One morning he woke to find a cold, heavy object under his pillow. It was a key, wrought from what looked like solid gold, and it hummed with a soft, magical light. Curiosity, a force stronger than any lock, urged Leo to try the key. He tiptoed to his bedroom door and slid the key into the lock. It turned with a satisfying click, but when he pushed the door open, it wasn't the familiar hallway that greeted him, but the scent of old paper and forgotten magic. He had stepped into a library that stretched into forever, its shelves groaning under the weight of 1,000 untold stories. Deeper inside, he found a single book on a pedestal, bound in black leather and secured with a golden lock. Without a second thought, Leo used his key. The lock sprang open, and a plume of inky black smoke billowed out, twisting and coiling until it took the shape of a fearsome dragon, its eyes burning like dying embers. "I am the eraser," the dragon hissed, its voice like crumbling parchment. "Born of forgotten tales and endings left unwritten. I will devour every story, every character, every happy ending, until there is nothing left but silence." As it spoke, the vibrant colors of the library began to fade, the golden light of the books dimming to a dull gray. Just as despair began to creep into Leo's heart, a blur of feathers swooped down from the highest shelf. A large owl, wearing a pair of tiny spectacles on his beak, landed softly on a nearby book. "Hoo, a bit of a pickle you've gotten us into, young man," he hooted. "I am the bookkeeper. That creature is a manifestation of every story that has been abandoned, every character forgotten." The bookkeeper explained that the eraser fed on endings. To defeat it, they couldn't fight it with swords or spells from the existing stories. They had to create something new, an ending so full of hope and imagination that the dragon of forgotten tales would have no power over it. "You, Leo," the owl said, his voice firm, "must write its story." Leo took a deep breath. He thought of all the stories he loved, all the heroes he admired. But he didn't write about a battle. He wrote about a lonely wisp of smoke, born in the quiet corners of the library, who watched all the other characters have grand adventures. This dragon didn't want to erase stories. It wanted to be in one. As Leo's words filled the page, a strange thing happened. The eraser's inky form began to soften, the harsh black turning to a shimmering silver. Its roaring quieted to a low hum, and the burning embers in its eyes cooled to a soft, curious glow. It was no longer a monster of destruction, but a creature of wonder. Leo wrote the final line, giving the dragon a new name, Whisper. No longer the eraser, Whisper would be the guardian of the forgotten tales, the keeper of stories waiting for a new reader. Its purpose was not to destroy, but to carry the seeds of old stories to the minds of new dreamers. With a final, gentle swirl, Whisper faded back into the book, leaving behind the scent of old paper and new beginnings. Leo found himself back in his bedroom, the door closed. The key in his hand was no longer golden and humming, but a simple, warm brass. He knew then that the greatest magic wasn't in finding old stories, but in having the courage to write new ones.